excited for tonight, and I hope that maybe you are just a little bit excited too. I can promise you one or two surprises along the way. We have some amazing, interesting things. We have some wonderful talent here tonight. It's just going to be wonderful. So, without any more delay, may I have the house lights down, and let's get this show on the road.
Hermosa sunrise, golden bright. We never stand side by side. Old surfer buddies catch the tide. What have you done today to make us feel proud? Hermosa town, singing out loud from the river to the ocean blue. This is home, this is where we grew. Hermosa town. Families laughing down at our park. Baseball tears across the field at Clark. Comedy and magic, jokes that shine. The best little beach city, forever mine. What have you done today to make us feel proud? Hermosa town, singing out loud from the hills up to the ocean blue. This is home, this is where we grew. Hermosa town. Hand in hand we build this place, every smiling familiar face. More than sand and surf and sun, Hermosa hearts, we are one. You have a new life with friends, some days you never end. Volunteers lend a hand, from prospect to the strand. Generations growing here, memories we hold so dear. More than sand and surf and sun, Hermosa hearts, we are one. What have you done today to make us feel proud? Hermosa. What have you done today to make us feel proud? Hermosa town, standing strong in the light. Makes us up when we feel down. Hermosa town, yeah, Hermosa town. Hermosa town.
First time I saw it. Annie, wherever you are, thank you for being here, by the way. You know, you're... Go, baby. You brought family with you tonight, huh? Okay. Listen, Annie, you run through Hermosa Beach. All the people you came across, all the special places, and the everyday moments that we sometimes take for granted, but they all make Hermosa feel like home. Thank you for sharing Hermosa through your eyes and for being here tonight. As many of you know, Annie is a third-generation Hermosa resident and an amazing athlete. And she personifies what the word local means. And we're very proud to have her here with us. So please join me in giving her another round of applause for a woman. Okay. I might be the mayor, but I don't get to tell everybody what to do. So if you want to applaud, please go ahead. A 19-time, 6-time consecutive, and current champion and winner of the 2025 Hermosa Beach Ironman. That's amazing. So I got to tell you this. You should know that I originally volunteered to do the running in that. Yeah, but staff said, hey, we only got this place for 2 hours, so sorry, Rob, it'll take you forever to get around town. So they didn't let me do it, but I wanted to anyway. So thank you for that. That video was just amazing. As I watched that video, I'm struck by the diverse people and places that make up Hermosa Beach. From the Run Club kids to the lawn bowlers. I had such a wonderful time with the lawn bowlers a couple months ago. I did the opening of their big tournament. They asked me to throw out the first bowl. I didn't want to be like the President of the United States and hit a grounder before it hits the home plate, at the beginning of the World Series. So I came there and I practiced for a few days with them all, and I had a wonderful time. They taught me a little bit about lawn bowling. I'm still pretty clumsy at it, but nonetheless, the lawn bowlers, great group of people here. And we're going to get to them a little bit later, too. But from the Run Club kids and the lawn bowlers, our amazing beach to our beautiful parks. Residents and businesses, some have been here for years and some are new, but we're all Hermosa Beach. That's what we are. And like Annie, Hermosa Beach is in motion. Guided by our unique history, like the iconic buildings that she ran past, but always moving forward. That's what I got out of it. That our city is just like that video. We're moving forward all the time. I believe this is where we are now, and I believe this is where we should always strive to be, moving forward. The beginning of May 2025, some major changes took place in Hermosa Beach. Within a few days, we changed to a new mayor, yours truly. We got a new city manager, we got a new police chief, and we got a new community development director. Go ahead. Okay. I'm proud to be a part of those changes because I believe they sent our city in a new direction. I believe that they sent our city in the right direction. And that's right directly from my heart. So to illustrate that new direction, let's begin by looking at some of the things we've accomplished. Starting with this beautiful building we're sitting in right now. The Clark Building was built in 1937 and named after Mayor John Clark. When I did the grand opening for the reopening of the Clark Building, I was honored to be here to do the ceremonies for the opening. I started to prepare my speech and I asked myself, why do we call it the Clark Building? I lived here for over 50 years and I really never understood that. Maybe some of you didn't know this, but that's the man who it was named after. We'll get to why in just a few minutes. He was from England, and when the recreation and sports complex was proposed, he wanted to include lawn bowling, along with the baseball field and the tennis courts, archery, and this building. The building was meant for kids' games, community meetings, ballroom dances, and so on. The Lawn Bowling Club used to have tournaments, large tournaments, and after the tournament, the winners and everybody would come and they'd used to set up a big table here along that wall with flowers and the trophies, and they'd have a big dinner and have a ballroom dance with a dance band up here. What an amazing time that must have been. Sometimes I'd really love to go back in time just for a day or two here and there and experience that. And I'd love to experience Hermosa Beach in the old days. That must have been pretty spectacular. John loved lawn bowling so much that he was willing to spend $3,500 of his own money he put into the creation of the lawn bowling part of this. Now today that's about $80,000 in today's money. Hence, it was named after him, and of course it was. And for over 80 years, it served this community as intended. Well, about 7 years ago, a restoration project started here in this building. And for one reason or another, it stalled and then stopped. And this building was left empty and unused until 2022. That was an election year, and that election year brought a new city council mix, and we began to make those changes that we're talking about. After planning, bidding, contracting, and construction, I was honored to preside over the reopening of our beloved Clark building in August of last year. That still took 3 years to do, but once we got started, we got finished. I like to say all the time, the sooner we get started, the sooner we'll get done. So let's stop thinking about it. Let's stop letting it sit. Let's start. And that's what we did. And this is the result of that. This beautiful, beautiful building, what we have here today. And now this building will last for generations and it'll serve this community as it was meant to. It'll be hosting the Women's Club Pancake Breakfast. It'll be hosting Christmas gift wrapping parties and lawn bowling events still, and much, much more as it has since 1937. Just a couple of months after reopening this building, we then dedicated both the Greenbelt accessible trail across the street and the Casey Rohrer accessible playground. It's hard to imagine, but this picture here, this is one of my favorite pictures of Hermosa history. That's what the Greenbelt looked like when we got it. It's amazing, isn't it? I think it's been a long time since a train went down that, by the way. If you look at the rails, are pretty sad. But that turned to that over a number of years. As mayor and an original member of Access Hermosa, a group that was formed by City Manager Tom Bakley. Tom, I think you're here somewhere tonight. Thank you for being here tonight. It was my personal honor to help make this community space more accessible. I first became involved with Access Hermosa back in 2017, and in the years that followed, I have become increasingly aware of mobility issues and the challenges that people can experience later in life. It's not a matter of getting old either. You might, which of course happens, some people. No. But you can experience mobility problems for a number of reasons. Bad surgery, maybe an accident, an injury, maybe just many years of playing football and soccer or whatever. And someday you might find yourself having a little bit of a problem to walk. And that's the essence of what that trail is about. It's for everybody to use. Everybody that has a mobility problem. I've seen it many times, and it's not just walkers and wheelchairs and canes. It's moms with baby carriages. You can't push a baby carriage through wood chips, or not very well at any rate. And so that was such an important project for us to complete. And I'm so very proud of what we did over there. Since the Greenbelt was purchased in 1988, the city has been improving landscaping and molding the Greenbelt into the beautiful, serene, park-like entity that we have today. At some point, wood chips were spread to improve the walking trail from dusty when dry and muddy when wet. It became a very special place in Hermosa. But far too many years, people with mobility challenges couldn't fully enjoy it. And that began to change in 2016 when Access Hermosa came together. Dedicated members, including Beth Rohrer and Jeff Hirsch, worked alongside city staff to make part of the Greenbelt ADA accessible. This past August, we officially dedicated the Greenbelt accessible trail from Pier Avenue to 8th Street. Today, our greenbelt is accessible for everybody, regardless of mobility. And that same belief that everybody deserves access to all of our places, the beach, the greenbelt, the parks, everywhere, our sidewalks and streets, has to be accessible for everyone. That same belief led us to last November's dedication of the Casey Rohrer Accessible Playground. South Park's playground has always been a special place, but Casey Rohrer and his mother Beth believed it could be more. Thanks to their advocacy, we now have the Casey Rohrer Accessible Playground, a place that our community can be proud of. I can't put it any better than what Casey said himself. He passed away a few years ago, but Casey said, "This playground is great because all kids can now play together." That's golden. It's wonderful. I'm so proud that we did that. I thank the city staff and everybody that pitched in and helped us do that. And that's why we did it, because it was the right thing to do. That same commitment to access extends beyond our parks and playgrounds, though. In 2025, our Public Works team resurfaced and repaired nearly 2 miles of streets, including Pier Avenue, making our city safer and easier to negotiate. That's what it used to look like. That's what it looks like today. Quite an improvement. They made major repairs to almost a mile of sewer lines, protecting our infrastructure and preventing deferred maintenance also. I'd like to take a moment to talk about deferred maintenance. As a contractor of over 50 years, most of it here in Hermosa, I can tell you that deferred maintenance never gets any cheaper. It always gets more expensive. Of course, we have to be prudent about the trade-offs between ongoing maintenance costs and the pressures of balancing the budget. However, we shouldn't hide from the fact that we have a long list of deferred maintenance throughout this city. Right now, we have a major project underway to renovate parking lot C. That's the multi-level parking structure that's just north of the pier, right behind the beach house. It's important space and needs major work to ensure its safety and utility for years to come. Deferred maintenance is caught up with this, though, with salt air corrosion leaking into the concrete and rusting the steel tendons that support that. It's a very complicated matter, but in every concrete structure like that, there are steel rods that run through the whole thing, and they actually create a tension like this that hold the building together. It's like the bones of a concrete structure. And that building had a problem with its bones. So just this week, we allocated some additional funds to ensure that we can finish the project fully and return the parking lot to full operation within the next few months. As you can see, we're always working to improve the lives of our residents, our businesses, and our visitors. The parking lot project is just one current example. But we recognize the city's job starts with something even more fundamental: public safety. Our new Hermosa Beach Police Chief, Landon Phillips, was appointed in May of last year, after 23 years serving on the Hermosa Beach Police Department. I'm very proud that we promoted such a qualified leader from within our own ranks. I think it's quite rare that you find a policeman who literally grew up at our police department. Can you imagine Landon Phillips as a kid running around in the police department where his dad was on this force at the time? Love you. Love you. So, stop the giggling. No giggling. That's okay. You can giggle if you want. So the police department did this while launching a real-time crime center, participating in federal training and task forces, and addressing community concerns, including e-bikes. When residents raised these concerns about e-bikes, Chief Phillips and I had a public safety forum where we heard from and brainstormed with potential solutions with the community. We all remember that shortly after that forum, our community experienced a dark moment. The SALT incident that ran on November 21st shook all of us and raised important questions about safety and enforcement. I'm committed to exploring all possibilities to ensure that there is safety in our community. All of our residents, including our e-bike riders, our local schools already do a tremendous work to help teach young kids how to be safe and responsible on e-bikes. And that's very true. They're doing a wonderful job over there. They have a bike safety program. You cannot ride a bike to school and park it on school property without taking this class. You get a sticker for your bike, and you get a certificate. And so you should know wear a helmet, know two people on a bike, and so on. And education is an important part of e-bike safety for sure. But rather than hiring more full-time officers, we're now exploring the use of contract officers to strengthen e-bike enforcement on the Strand, on the Plaza, and on our most busiest intersections and streets, without adding long-term staff costs. This is a game changer, folks. When a possibility of doing this came up, I was so excited because for years I have talked to the police chief, our last police chief, this new police chief. What can we do? These kids are running around, they're going too fast, they're using the bike on the motor on the Strand, which is illegal. You're not supposed to do that. We try to do everything. We passed emergency ordinances and so on. But there is a problem with enforcement. Because they're on an e-bike, they can run away and we can't catch them. They have no license plates, so we can't identify them. And so how do we do that? How do we fix that? Well, it's always been a problem. But the idea of putting police officers on the Strand 2 or 3 at a time, this is incredibly expensive and takes the officers away from the other important business that they have here. They have to look at the rest of the city. They have to make sure that there's, jewelry store robberies and home break-ins, and their work is so intense here, they really can't be pulled away to chase a kid on the Strand on an e-bike. And that doesn't mean it's not important to do that, to fix that, to help supervise these kids. But it's just almost impossible for us to do it that way. So the idea of using contract officers, they're sworn officers, they're trained, they're not just some hired people we get, that last week they were a house painter or something. No, these people are as much a police officers as most of them. But they have the right to write tickets. They can stop people and do enforcement. What they can do is stand on the Strand, walk the Strand, stop kids on e-bikes and talk to them about their problems and write them tickets if necessary. They can be on the plaza. And when a kid does a wheelie down the middle of the plaza, you're not supposed to be riding one on the plaza, first of all. But if you're going to be doing that kind of behavior, these contract officers can stop that kid and write him a ticket. Possibly, the idea of confiscating the bike is a little iffy right now. But the idea that these officers can do that, and about at 1/3 of the cost of a police officer, and no long-term expenses. Staff expenses for retirement and so on and so forth, that all goes away. These guys can get this job done, and they can get it done incredibly less expensive than police officers. So it's a real possibility. It's something real, and it's something we're working on. This is important. I think that we should be working on every aspect there is, everything that we could possibly do to help this problem, fix this problem, we should do. We should learn lessons from what happened to us on that day, and see if we can improve on that. See if we can't make this a better situation in our city. I personally believe that some form of license plates should be on e-bikes. There's 3 classifications. Thank you. I hope there's enthusiastic response to that. And here's why. Last year the state had an ordinance that came up about license plates for e-bikes. But how can I explain state government? If anybody knows, please come and help me. By the time that law got into being voted on, it included driver's licenses for 13-year-olds. What about your insurance for the bike? What about your liability? What about this? What about that? It got so complicated and so confusing that the DMV was against it. I can't imagine that. Why wouldn't they want to put license plates on cars? Well, for one thing, they would have been so overwhelmed with that confusing bill it would have been unworkable if it did pass. So what I think we should do is a simple bill that says, let's put license plates on e-bikes, let them pay a registration fee. You know, I own a car, and when I go down, I get a license plate on there. I got to pay every year. It's kind of expensive for a car. But for an e-bike, it could be relatively simple. You get a plate, you put it on your car, they register it, put your name down and everything, all your information, owner, and so on and so forth. And then every year you go back and re-register your bike. Keep it up. If you sell the bike, fill out a bill of sale, just like we do with a car. Now we know when something happens and some camera somewhere says, look at this, there's a license plate on the back of that bike. And we can go to the parents, we can find the kid, we can do something about it. This is I think, really a game changer. But it's very difficult. And so I can't do this by myself. I don't think even city council can. I don't even think Hermosa can do it, no matter what we do. It's a bigger problem than it's statewide. But here's what we can do. I have already begun preliminary discussions with other South Bay mayors and intend to use my position as our new delegate to the South Bay City's Council of Governments to advance this subject. That's an organization of city mayors. There are 17 cities, I believe, in that council. If all 17 of those mayors all said, yeah, Rob, let's get together, let's do this, and we could put together some power, you know, I was talking earlier about, you know, if you have something to say, get some people together and come down to city council and speak. Well, all those of us on city council, the mayors of all the cities in this area, we need to do the same thing. We need to get together and go up there to Sacramento and say, hey, look, this is a problem here. It's not just this guy and that guy. This is a big problem for everybody. And believe me, e-bike problems are statewide. Actually, countrywide, I believe. But in our state, it would be so effective if we could just get together, form a group together, and do something about it. That's what I'd like to do. So, while we're on the subject of public safety, it doesn't just stop with policing. When an emergency strikes, Chief Kane and his firefighters run toward the danger, not away from it. You may not see them every day, but when you hear those lights and sirens, you know that they're on their way to help a citizen of Hermosa Beach who's in trouble in one way or another. Especially now, just a week removed from the year anniversary of devastating LA fires, we're grateful to these professionals who stand ready when our community needs them the most. And our community is stepping up too. We recently relaunched Hermosa's Community Emergency Response Team, CERT, also known as CERT, under the leadership of Emergency Management Coordinator Mo Wright. Mo, where are you? Mo's an amazing guy. We always want, for this CERT program, we always want people to volunteer. So if you're interested in that, this is training so that one day when there's an earthquake and all about us are running around, what do I do? Where's my gas meter? Where's my phone? How do I call my wife at work? When all of that's happening, we need people who are trained and know what to do. This is what we do. You can go around to your neighbors and tell them, you know, here's a phone number for emergency services. You can find out how do you get through this, that, and the other thing. What do you do in an emergency? That's Mo's job, is to teach us how to do that. So all of you who want to volunteer for such a thing, talk to Mo. He's a wonderful guy. He'd be glad to help you. So community volunteers are welcome to CERT. Together we can continue to keep Hermosa Beach safe, prepared, and strong. Now, as I mentioned right at the start, we had a number of people beginning new jobs around the time that I became mayor. Chief Phillips was one, but Allison Becker was another. Allison became our new community development director in May of last year, and she has an absolutely vital role as we move forward. Oh, there's a ribbon cutting. It doesn't have anything to do with Allison, excuse me. So people who want to start a business or build a home in Hermosa Beach should know that when they come to the well-functioning welcoming department, they can get help at the counter. It's there, it's ready, when you ask, I want to add a bathroom on my house, or I want to build a new house, or if you're a business owner, which is crucial for our city. You're a business owner and you walk in the door of that community development department and you say, I had these plans, I want to open my shoe store over here in this building. What do I need to do? Where do I start? There's got to be somebody on the other side of that counter that knows the answers to your questions, will take those questions, will help you get your business started. This is so important to Hermosa Beach. We have a very small community of businesses, and we need that community to be strong and successful. So we need new people to come, fill those empty storefronts if there are any, and they need help to do that quickly and easily, and this is what's going on in that department right now. Steve, Allison, and her team are working to reduce red tape, simplify business licensing and development. We recently introduced the self-certification program, which makes it simpler to make changes to your business. If you own a business and let's say it's a restaurant, as an example, and you've been there for a few years and you go, you know what, the table layout we have here really doesn't work for us. It's too crowded in this area and there's lots of room over here. Let's rearrange the tables a little bit maybe. Maybe the bar belongs over there and the tables belong over here. It's a simple change. It's not very difficult. You go through the process, you put that plan together, and you certify yourself. And you have to have a licensed architect or engineer, by the way, to do these plans. You can't just make some sketches yourself. But that licensed architect or engineer can certify that, yes, this meets the city code. Everything is fine to do here. It meets your CUP requirements. It's all good to go. You can do that ahead of time. Bring it into the city and go, here you go, this is what I want to do. It's self-certified. And they'll look at it, they'll go, okay, you're in. And you can make those changes to your business. Please. So this is part of what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it easier for people, our residents, and the businesses to come into that department and do what they want to do. Make it happen quickly and simply. I think we should always be looking for ways to make our process easier and simpler and quicker and remove unnecessary obstacles. Now, none of what I just talked about happens without a solid foundation. That's why I'm proud of the financial discipline we're practicing as a city. And that hard work is paying off. Our city enters 2026 with a fully balanced budget. Our emergency reserves remain healthy. We have 20% set aside for rainy days. This is as cities go, I think 20% is a pretty high level of reserve money. And over the past few months, with the help of our new city manager, Steve Napolitano, we've generated over $3.6 million in additional city revenue. That's significant. That's significant. And we've done that without raising taxes. We've done that without impacting staff and with smart spending. Now, in the last few weeks, some people have asked me, well, okay, Rob, what is smart spending? Well, let me give you a couple of examples. Full-time officers and exploring contract officers. This is an example of smart spending. If we initiate that program, we can strengthen the e-bike enforcement on the Strand, the Plaza, and smart streets without adding long-term staff costs. This is really a game changer for that. And it saves us a lot of money in the long run. And speaking of public safety, of course, it doesn't just start with stop with policing. That extra $3.6 million that we generated, that money can service the debt for the new city yard that we're working on. We need to float a bond for anywhere between $30 and $50 million, let's say. Now, how do we pay for that? Well, we need an income stream to do that. We don't want to take away from this program or that program and try to scruffle some money together to do that. But this new $3.6 million income that we've done will service the debt on the city yard. We can get that project completed without putting this huge strain on our finances. I think that is smart spending. There are real, tangible examples of smart spending and choices that meet today's needs while setting up Hermosa for a bright future. Now, none of this progress I highlighted happens without an extraordinary city staff. Their work is often behind the scenes, and I'd like to invite up the person who leads our incredible city staff and steers this ship. So to say a little more about this, I'd like to invite up the person who leads us, our city staff, and steers us on our way, our new city manager, Steve Napolitano. Steve knows our community like the back of his hand. I couldn't be more proud of him to have him alongside of me today. In his first few months as city manager, Steve provided steady leadership that effectively guided our city through transition. He kept projects on time and on budget. He prioritized community collaboration, making time for residents and city staff wherever he needed it, and he was highly visible, sleeves rolled up and ready to go. Steve brings a unique blend of local experience, a huge network of contacts, and his own. It's a big difference between contacts and contacts. You have your own contractors. Okay. It all works. Yeah, okay. And his own calm and friendly style to this very critical job. And he consistently delivers results. Steve, you have the floor.
I feel it's my job to manage expectations now, so I will begin by saying I do not always play volleyball in an Argyle sweater. I appreciate the kind words of the mayor. He said I stepped up, and that's one way to put it. If you read social media, you might think I stepped in it. But that's okay. Let them have their fun. I know why I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for council. And I'm here because I love Hermosa Beach. That video said it all. I've been to all those places. I know all those people. I think that Generation X, Annie, we're finally having our moment. We got Annie Seawright, Scott Akatobi on the mural. We got Jim Lindbergh. We got Chris Miller. We got all these folks who I grew up with and went to school with. We're really the last generation that walked to school by ourselves and drank from the hose, and that probably explains a lot of things. But you know, I'm here for that. I'm here because I love local government. I'm here to get things done. And working with council, we're working on the budget. There's lots of things to do. Of course, I'm not doing them all by myself. We've got a great city team who does things every day that you folks don't know. And I just want to explain a few of those. They've been introduced in some ways, but I want to put a face to their names as well. If you stand up when I call you out, except for the first one, Allison Becker, she's been talked about. She's our community development director. She's doing a great job streamlining processes. She hit the ground running from day one. She's looking at the permit system. She's looking at moving projects forward, making business-friendly reforms. She could not be here tonight because she's with her mother, and I told her, Mom always comes first. So I want to move on then to our Public Works Director, Joe San Clemente. Joe, please stand up. Joe, stay standing because Joe takes care of the stuff that you never want to have to think about. The sewers, the water line, right? You want the water to go on when you turn it on. Everything, the streets, storm drains, everything. He and his crew take care of that. His crew are wonderful. They remove graffiti in 24 hours. They fix everything once we tell them to do it. And they're just an incredible group who get stuff done. We just gave them another big project though, and that's the city yard. We approved the other night, council approved don't stop. Council approved the owner's representative for that, so we're moving forward on that. It's been sitting around for way too long. It needs to be redone. Joe's going to lead that effort. Thank you, Joe. He's also on track to finish 12 projects this year. That's a lot of projects, folks. Next, I want to introduce Administrative Services Director Brandon Walker. Brandon, please step up there. Brandon is our money man. He and his team take care of the purse strings for us, make sure that we've got enough, make sure that we're not spending too much. And he puts together the balanced budget, and we're looking to increase revenues and reduce costs going forward. And I appreciate him and all his staff and all the work that they're going to do over the next few months to make that happen. And next, we've mentioned him several times tonight, but I want to ask him to stand up anyway. Police Chief Landon Phillips. He and his team, again, he's homegrown here. He hit the ground running as well, keeps our community safe, reaches out, engages with the community, the What the Fuzz events. He's always accessible. He's always out there. I know he worked the DUI task force. He worked on New Year's Eve. He's always out there. We appreciate all you do, and the team, though. Behind all these directors are entire teams. I want you to know that. And also, our newly rechristened Parks and Rec Director, Lisa Nichols. Stand up, Lisa. Since we're now calling it Parks and Rec again, she is our local Leslie Note, who manages more than 50, watch on cable, who manages more than 50 community events and brings us all together. Community events, Hermosa wouldn't be Hermosa without its events. I also want to mention our city attorney, Jason Baltimore. Stand on up. Come on, Jason. Leading our legal team, they're also from PBK, and they keep us on the straight and narrow and fight the good fight for us when someone sues us. Last but not least, we certainly want to mention City Clerk Mayra Maravilla. This is Mayra's last day with the city. She didn't have to be here tonight, but we wanted her to take a bow for basically creating the clerk's office as you know it today from the ground up. Over the last couple of years, she's modernized everything from running the city council member meetings to answering more than 700 Public Record Act requests just in this past year. I think about half of those were about me, but all good. Thank you, Mayra, for all your, the Water District's gain is our loss. Congratulations, though, and thank you for everything you've done for us. It's already been done, but I can't pass this up because I'll hear about it if I don't, and I want to give a big shout out to the real city manager of Hermosa Beach, and that's Ann Yang, who keeps us all in line and makes sure everything is done. That's right.
So as you can see, our city staff does extraordinary work every day, but they don't do it alone. 1 Corinthians reminds us that God's greatest gifts are faith, hope, and charity. And the greatest of these is charity. I want to talk a little bit about that. The Spirit is alive and well in our residents and our community leaders. Those who show up and suit up. Those who pitch in and help out. Day after day, without expectation of reward or recognition. Those people make Hermosa special as much as anybody. I'm talking about people like the Kiwanis Club, whom I happen to be president of at the moment. So I'll put them first, but it's not that way at all. There are so many groups in this city. I've never seen anything like this anywhere else. Let me just go through the list. This is just the highlights of this list too, by the way. There are dozens of groups just like this. The Kiwanis Club, the Hermosa Hermanos, the Rotary Club, the Women's Club. Yeah, there we go. There's the Women's Club over there. Friends of the Park, Friends of the Library. Hermosa Beach Sister Cities Association, where are you out there? I know you're there. The Surfriders Foundation, the Hermosa Beach Education Foundation, the Historical Society, South Bay Friends Foundation, and the Arts Foundation, and on and on and on. There's so many of them. Youth sports organizations, faith communities, and so many others. You give your time, your money, and a large part of your life to helping others. I think that's an amazing thing, that you can devote so much of yourself to charitable foundations and organizations. Now, I know that other cities have charities. There's no question about that. I'm sure there's a Kiwanis Club and Redondo and so on. But I've never seen a place so full of concern and care for other people than right here in Hermosa Beach. So many people, so many groups. Thank you so much for that. I want to pause for one moment about one group in particular. because a century of service deserves recognition. Now, I know we're going to go back to the Kiwanis Club for a moment. See this mural right here? This is the most recent thing that the Kiwanis Club did for our city. As you know, our city celebrated its 119th birthday yesterday. Fittingly enough, our Kiwanis Club also celebrated its first 100 years this month. A full century of showing up for our kids, our families, and our community. This is commemorated by a beautiful mural showing the history of Hermosa. If you look at that mural, way over here on the left, you'll see a couple little people sitting on the sand, and if you're closer up, you'll see this. Those are Tongva Indians, the first residents of Hermosa Beach. Absolutely amazing. This mural starts with them and goes all the way up to today at the other side. And there are 119 little Easter eggs, if you will. Like in a movie, you see a little hint about what's going to happen or what did happen. There's 119 of them, one for every year, in that mural. You have to look at it for a couple hours to see everything there is about that. It's beautiful. It's amazing. So here I'm talking about generosity and charity in your heart and everything. These two folks have already, over a lifetime, have given so much to our city. Being mayor, starting Arts Foundation, number of different organizations that have been a big part of our city. And these two folks have done that for years and years and years. And now, $500,000 they give to our city for a sign. We need a new one. It's beautiful. So this extraordinary generosity will leave a lasting mark on our city for many, many years to come. So to the Sheldons, to the Kiwanis Club, the community organizations and leaders I mentioned, and the countless others that I didn't, thank you from my heart. Thank you so much for what you do. Now, we're going to take a moment, a very special, precious moment. It's a chance for us to honor those special members of our Hermosa community who we have lost over the last year. People who gave a large part of their life to build and improve our lives. But first, I want to introduce you to a remarkable young man. His name is Saemann Weiss. He's 13 years old. Hello, Saxon. Come on up. Come on over. He's 13 years old. Saxon Weiss. 13 years old. And he's going to perform for us a song that he wrote called Sapphire. Tonight, he's going to dedicate it to our Hermosa heroes as we remember them all. Ladies and gentlemen, Saxon Weiss. Can you bring down the lights and show us?
Driving down the same new road again, feeling the same feeling I get. When I'm on my way to greet the day, say the same things that I say. Well, I know it won't be too long before you're gone. You're gone, you're gone. Say a prayer and let's go out. Well, I won't have a doubt. And then we'll make it through. We'll make it through. 'Cause in the darkness of night, you show me the light, and you make it clear. Well, I got nothing to fear, and you'll always be oh so make it through. We'll make it through. In this life.
Thank you so much. It was beautiful. Thank you. By the way, later this evening, after the festivities are gone, we're going to have a little reception here. Saxon will be playing for us throughout that. So you'll get a chance to hear more of his wonderful. But those we just honored helped make Hermosa Beach what it is today. I know many of you in this room will know somebody in there. I know 2 or 3. Some of them that were very close to me. Kathy McCurdy was a dear friend of mine. And Kathy, I'm going to miss you very much. We're going to miss all of them. They all gave their time and their resources and so much of their lives to this community. And for that, we're very grateful. You know, when asked about how he managed to do things that others couldn't in the world of science, Isaac Newton said this: "If I can see farther than others, it's because I stand upon the shoulders of giants." It's a very telling quote. The people in that video are the giants that have come before us. It is up to us to carry their legacy forward. Someday maybe some of us will be the giants that other people build upon. But that's how it should go. I am deeply touched by that video. I hope you were too. I hope you enjoyed it. It means so much to recognize those who have given so much and now have gone away. And it's so important to continue functioning. You can't imagine, it's like having a car with only 3 wheels that work and one of them's got a problem. Well, it's time to fix that. This week, as City Manager Stephen Politano mentioned, this week, City Council approved the appointment of an owner's representative to lead the work. We have begun. We're started. We're moving. We have amended our plans regarding the rest of our civic facilities. We remain committed to improving our city hall and police department facilities, but we can find a way to reimagine these buildings without a total demolition and reconstruction. That's where we're going with this. Together, we must continue similar conversations about our downtown area. Parking lot A, parking lot D, and how we take part of our past and make it part of our future. Those things have to be worked on and improved. I don't want to turn my Hermosa Beach into Miami Beach, but we can't let properties like those parking lots just sit there year after year after year. That makes sense. That could be so vital, so rejuvenating for our downtown area. To get that project going. It could also help pay for those facilities that we want to build here. We can get that thing started and have some income from those properties. It's a two-way street. We can improve our city and we can make enough money off of it to help do the facility. This is a wonderful thing for us to do, for us to be able to do. I'm proud of what we've accomplished. But I know we also need to be honest about the challenges that remain. We have some tough challenges ahead. No doubt about it. I can't make this presentation tonight and say, hey, look at, we did this building, we did this thing, and make it all sound like it's all roses and there are some amazing accomplishments we have. We've done a lot to improve the city. We are moving in a forward direction. But it's not going to be easy. There's trouble in the road ahead of us. We have major negotiations coming up with our county fire and lifeguard partners. These are critical pieces of our public safety infrastructure, and they don't come cheap. But as I showed you earlier, we can meet those challenges. Budgets will always be tight, but with smart spending and sensible choices, we can thread that needle. Nothing is perfect, but it's our role to show up every day and make Hermosa as good as it can be. You know, I like to say that life can always throw you a curveball. That doesn't mean you can't hit it out of the park. Okay? There's always opportunity. Every problem is just an opportunity to succeed. And that's what I hope we do with our city. So tonight, I hope I've shown you what the state of our city is. It's strong. It's moving forward. And it has a bright future. Not by accident, but because of the people in this town, in this room, and our shared commitment to leaving Hermosa Beach better than we found it. You know, as I was preparing tonight's presentation, I kept asking myself, what is Hermosa? What is it? What makes us Hermosa? What is that? Of course, it's the beach. It's the Hermosa Open. It's the St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's the Surfers Hall of Fame. It's the Greenbelt. It's the pier. And all those other places that we saw in that first video. But ultimately, it's us. It's us. We are Hermosa. So as we close, please enjoy the reception and the music and the food and the drinks. And join me in celebrating our birthday right now by singing Happy Birthday to Hermosa Beach. I think that would be the right thing to do. Sasha, can you lead us in that, please?